Hey everybody, welcome to RPM, Rock and Pop Mandolin, your destination for learning classic rock and pop songs on this wonderful little 8-stringed instrument. My name is Mike DeJong, and in this video, I'm going to show you a song that maybe you've never heard before. Certainly, if you're not from Canada, you probably haven't heard of this song and this band. But if you are Canadian, I'm sure you have, because Blue Rodeo, the band, and this song, Hasn't Hit Me Yet, were very popular in our home country of Canada. They are one of the great bands from Canada, Blue Rodeo. They've sold like 4 million records over the course of their career, and this song, Hasn't Hit Me Yet, was one of their biggest hits. However, Blue Rodeo is not that well known outside of their native country, and that's fine, because we Canadians look at them as sort of one of our own little hidden treasures. But certainly, they have some great songs, they're great songwriters, and this song features some wonderful mandolin playing by Jim Cuddy, the guitar player in the band, normally a guitar player. I'm going to show you all of those parts, and hopefully you'll go check out this song and check out this band after watching this video. But first, a little bit of business. If you're new to the site, thank you very much for checking us out. We really appreciate it. But don't forget to hit that little red subscriber button down there in the lower right corner on your way out. Also, give us a like if you like this video. If you are a returning subscriber, give us a like as well if you like this video here and this song. I hope you do. And also, don't forget, please check out our Patreon and Amazon links down below in the comments. Over at Patreon, we're doing monthly live mandolin sessions where you can ask me questions and we go over various techniques and other things related to this instrument. So please check us out on Patreon. But now, that's enough business. Without further ado, let's take a look at this Blue Rodeo song called Hasn't Hit Me Yet here on RPM. Okay, Blue Rodeo's Hasn't Hit Me Yet, one of the top 5 songs in my next 5 greatest mandolin songs of all time. Please check out that video as well. And the reason I really like this song, in fact, I love this song. It's one of my favorite mandolin songs. The reason I like it is because of those wonderful melodies that Jim Cuddy plays all throughout the track over different parts of the song. He plays different melodies in the verses and the chorus and even in sort of the bridge sections. All of those are wonderful melodies to play on the mandolin, and wonderful in that they complement what the lead vocal is doing in this song too. And I mentioned this in my other video, the top 5 or the next 5 video, but that's what I like about pop and rock mandolin playing. Oftentimes in pop and rock songs, the mandolin doesn't really stand out so much as complement the vocal melodies, or even work with the vocal melodies to create new parts. And that's what I really love about pop rock mandolin more than any other style, I think. So this song is a prime example of that. So let's take a look at it. What is that introduction? Well, it starts off with the chords E to F sharp minor to D to E, F sharp minor to D. All right, that's your intro. E, I'm just playing down here at the base of the neck here. So first fret, second fret, and open. That's your basic E chord, right? And just an up and down strumming. Very simple strumming in this song. Down, up, just like that. And you might want to just give it a little bit of syncopation there, right? So and then F sharp minor. All right, so what's that F sharp minor chord? Well, 6th fret here on the G string, 4th fret on the D, open A, and 2nd fret on the E string, F sharp minor. All right, and then you go to this D chord here. Everybody knows that D chord, right? 2nd fret here, open, 2nd fret. Okay, so that's your introduction. And over top of that, Jim Cuddy is playing this wonderful little melody to start off the song. It goes. Isn't that really nice? Really sweet little mandolin part there. And a little bit of a chord change in there as well, too. So here we go. All right, so what he's doing there is he's using that high E string, that string there open, as kind of a drone note, or a pedal tone, I guess you might call it, in music, right? And he's starting here on the E note, the 7th fret of the A string. So you got two E's happening there. And you can tell if your mandolin's in tune there by listening to those two E notes. So he's just going up and down with that pattern and always hitting that E string open to sort of act as a double stop for you on the mandolin. So right off the beginning, he does that little... You see what I'm doing there? I'm always droning it off that high E. So start off here, 7th fret, 6, 7, 2, 4. So that's a bit of a jump from 6, 7 to 2 and 4. And then when you get to 4, you're still hitting that droning E, all right? So and then you move up to the 5th fret on the A string, which is in the D chord, right? So that really kind of comes out of nowhere. It's a little bit different. At the beginning, you're using the 6th fret, and here you're using the 5th fret. So, and then you see that? That creates also a nice little sort of E7 chord as well. D or E7, whatever. Okay, and then the next time he comes down, he plays this little pattern twice off the beginning. The second time, he just does it more straight, like... All right, so that time he didn't do that part. He just sort of walked down from 7 to 6 to 4, 2 to 4, and then back to that 5 again. So all right, so that whole opening part one more time. All right, so a really nice little double stop pattern that's played off the top of the song. Okay, and the main verses of the song basically utilize the same chords as the introduction, just with one additional chord, and that is an A. So start off with your A chord. Again, up and down strumming again, and then to the E, and then that F sharp minor again, and then to the D again. So I'm just doing, again, just strumming like that, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down. Down, up, down, down, up, down. All right, so that's the A chord there, 2nd fret of the G, 2nd fret of the D, open, open. You can also play the A chord like this. Right, so that A chord is 2nd fret and 2nd fret again, but this time 4th fret and 5th fret, right? So it's a bar chord, right? All right, so A and then E, F sharp, and D. Right, that's the main pattern for the verses. Right at the end of the verses, though, they do something a little different leading into the chorus, and it's like this. A, E, F sharp minor again. Watch this now. Okay, so what was that pattern? Well, right at the end, after you go A to E, F sharp minor to D, you go very quickly from D to A to B. All right, and I'm just playing the B with these 3 strings here, the 3 highest strings. I'm not bothering with that note up there, although you could if you want, but I'm just playing it like that. So the end part of the verses goes A to E, then F sharp minor, D, A, B. Right, and the B is at the 4th fret here and the 4th fret there, and then the 6th fret there. So, and you stay on the B for a little bit, a couple of extra bars, and then you're back into the verse again one more time before you get to the choruses. Okay, and so over the verses, there's a really lovely little melodic pattern played on the mandolin by Jim Cuddy, and it goes something like this. and so on, all right? Really lovely little walking melodic pattern over those chords, A to E, F sharp minor, D, etc., right? So what is that pattern? Well, it's here, again, utilizing that open E string here, right? But a little bit different rhythmically. This time, from the 4th fret of the A, you're going... Okay, so you're utilizing 2 open strings there. First, that E, like this. Isn't that cool? So he goes from the 4th fret to the 2nd fret, open, 2nd fret again, all right? So... and then from there, you do a little... you're walking down from the 2nd fret, and then the open A, and then 6th fret here on the D string, and back up to that A again. So one more time. You see what I did there? And there you're hitting that A flat note, or G sharp note, against the A string here. So that's kind of gives you a kind of a really nice little bit of dissonance there, but it sounds really cool. All right, so, and then from there, you continue walking down. So again, from the 6th fret to the 4th fret to 2, and all the while, this time you're droning that open A string rather than the E string as before. So let's look at that whole lick again. This is the main verse pattern for the mandolin. And so on, back up to that again. So the notes one more time, just the simple notes without the drone. It's 4, 2, open, 2 on the A string, and then open, 6, 4, 2, open on the D string, and then back up to there. So one more time. And isn't that a wonderful pattern? And I think that type of little melody lick really highlights the strengths of the mandolin. It really shows you what this little instrument can do melodically. The beautiful sound, the wonderful droning notes, or double stops if you want to call them that, and the little patterns that, again, enhance the vocal in this song. So that's another reason why I love this song, or that's the main reason why I love this song, is little patterns like that. So that's the pattern that goes through the verses of this tune. Okay, and there's one other little pattern that you might want to do, but by the way, I should show you this at the end of the verses. Remember I said that it goes to that B chord? Well, also what they do here is at the end of the verses, they go up to a little B lick, and I'll show you that over the B chord. So when the chords go A to E to F sharp, and then D, A, B, okay, while the guitars and the band are doing that part, the mandolin is doing... Isn't that a cool little lick? I love that little lick. It's just the 6th fret of the A, and the open E again. It's just... so it's just up, down, up. So it goes 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. I'll show you how it works in context in the song. Here, it comes at the end of this part here. Right here. And then you go into the chorus. All right, and the actual chorus of the song are these chords here. It's, hey, 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 it hasn't hit me yet. are those chords? Well, again, that's that F sharp minor to start off with. Again, a little more syncopated here. So it's F sharp minor there, once again. Then to that A chord again, the open A, and then the E chord, and then that B. Okay, so hey, hey, it hasn't hit me yet. This crack and I kinda lost my head, right? Street light. Back to that little lick played over that final B chord in the chorus. And finally in the chorus you have this little melodic lick as well. It goes... And then they go to that again, all right? So that little melody lick over the chorus chords, over the F sharp chord to A to E to B, is there. Starts on the 4th fret of the A string. So, and then there's a lovely little walk down pattern that goes very quickly, and then so what's that? Well, you start off with that 4th note there, the 4th fret, which is here on the A string. It's actually a C sharp note. And then you go quickly up to that open E and do a little walk down scale pattern from there. Like that. So it's just open, 6, 4, 2, 4. So, and the second time you just go down to the 2nd fret. Not the 4th fret, all right? So the first time, the first time you go little down below and then come up. The second time, just down, all right? And then finally you end up on the 6th fret against that droning E. All right, so one more time, that little melodic pattern is... All right, so it's here in the 4th fret again, and then... Okay, so, and utilize all of your fingers there if you can. Try to get your pinky and your other fingers all working there in conjunction to play that licks, because it kind of stretches you out there with that little scale pattern. See how I'm using all of my fingers there? And then you end up on that 6th fret where you do that lick again. And then finally, the end of the song, they go right back to the beginning with that E lick again. So after this, on the B, all right, so what are those notes? Well, again, that's just that E, that droning E. Here, the open E and the 7th fret E. And again, you're just walking down that little scale pattern from the 7 to the 6, 4 to 4, and then 5. So, all the while catching that high E string again. Then the very last time they do it slowly and pause for effect, like this. And that final note is played over that final E chord. So what is that? Well, they stop on that 4th fret there, the C sharp, and then 5th fret, 4th fret, 2. Okay, so C sharp, D, B, like that. One more time. All right, that is Hasn't Hit Me Yet by Blue Rodeo, a really wonderful song from their 1993 album, 5 Days in July. I urge you to check it out. The whole album is great, but that is, of course, a standout track because of that melodic mandolin part. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a like and hit that subscriber button if you're new to the channel. If you're not new here, well, thank you for coming back once again. Please check out all of our other videos here on the channel, and also maybe have a look at our Patreon and Amazon links down below. My name is Mike DeJong. Thanks very much for watching RPM.